This video contains fight scenes which some people might find offensive or tasteless. Most will probably just find it a bit silly. If you do take offense and still decide to watch this video, it's your own decision. Thank you. I just wanted to put that notice in because some people take offense by the slightest things, and I know this game, Barbarian, from 1987 by Palace Software, definitely incurred some overreaction perhaps? I don't know, it's not for me to say what's right and what's not right for individual people, but it was banned in certain countries for being too violent. Most noticeable about this game was the fact that on the box was a very beefy looking fella dressed up as a barbarian and virtually naked Maria Whittaker. So if you didn't enjoy the game, you could probably find other enjoyment. Barbarian. Evil sorcerer wizard thing and drags have captured the princess, Marianne, I think she's called. And he proposes a challenge to any warrior who can defeat his demon warriors. If any warrior can defeat his demon warriors, he will release the princess. So several warriors have failed, and then you show up. And it is quite clearly chop chop inspired by a certain Arnold Schwarzenegger. His Conan character, but it is not directly related to Conan. Well, I think the reference is quite obvious though. What makes this game special, except for the fact of course that you can actually chop the head off other people, is the subtleties in animation, I would argue. It's not exactly the best looking game that was ever made for the Commodore 64, but it's functional, it's definitely not bad. The fight moves, though, are probably some of the best fight animations in a Commodore 64 game. I haven't seen or played every Commodore 64 game in the world, so well, I couldn't say for sure, but it's definitely right up there. And notice when the warriors are striking and whatever they're doing, the subtleties in the animations of the knees and the muscles and things like that. It's actually quite intricate for a Commodore 64 game. The Commodore 64 version has a training option. It's two different loads, the training option and the actual game. And the training option is basically just fighting against the computer to improve. That's why you train, to get better. Alright. You're probably glad I told you that. The sound assets are functional. I quite enjoyed the sounds of this game. But if you get good at the game, there's not a lot to come for, unfortunately. It's definitely more a... I know people would probably find it hilarious for me to say so now, but this is probably the closest you get to a spectacle fighter on the Commodore 64. I can spoil right now that I will get beaten on defeated on the next level. For some reason I insisted on taking this guy out with a headbutt. It became personal. So, headbutt, and off he goes. You fight 7 fights, and then you face Drax himself, the guy in purple on the left. And you don't actually need to fight him, you just need to avoid his abilities and get close to him, and then he will chicken out. I know some people are finding the last bit very difficult, but it's rather simple actually. He will attack low, then high, then low, then high. So you jump over his first attack and then you roll towards him. Then you wait for his third attack and jump over it, and then you roll towards him again, and then you should be in touching distance, which is where he chickens out. I did complete the game and had this recording session, but I decided not to show the final bits of the game, because if you want to play this yourself, you have something to look forward to, ish. The instant we tried that again, and a bit slower. The end sequence is not exactly the most impressive or rewarding end sequence you would find in any computer game. There's no doubt that the value was, or the production time was spent on making this look as fluid and awesome as they could. And in that regard it's definitely working. So let us switch to the Amiga version. And here we are, the Amiga version. It plays roughly the same way. The animations are just about the same. I don't know whether there was a deliberate choice to make it very similar to the Commodore 64 version. Part of me can't help but feel that the proportion of the individual body parts looks a bit off. Whereas the Barbarian in the Commodore 64 version actually looks like a pretty beefy guy. On the Amiga version he looks like a strong-ish guy who hasn't been to the gym for a while. For some strange reason, by the way, I don't know why, but especially the green color, my editor apparently found huge issues rendering it properly, so it's going a bit out of whack. The recorded video is fine. I double checked it. I tried re-rendering it and it didn't make any difference, so I do apologize for the visual flicker that will occur on the green backgrounds. What else can I say about the Amiga version? The presentation is meh. It's basically just a high score screen and then it goes straight into demonstration. There's no music, which is again puzzling at best. The sound assets I quite enjoy. I do find that what limited speech there is functional, well placed. The attack sounds and hit sounds are rewarding. But outside of that, the two games are virtually identical. From level 4 onwards on the Amiga, which will be level 3 because you actually start on level 0. We will get into the castle. And the same deal applies to fighting the last few opponents. facing Drax himself, where again he will attack low then high then low then high. And again the end sequence is so unrewarding, it's actually embarrassing. Something to say for the Amiga version is it's significantly more difficult than the Commodore 64 version. Sometimes you get a feeling that there's a bit of input reading, which, in case you don't know what input reading means, is that the computer or the game will scan for what you do with your joystick and respond accordingly. I'm not saying it's the case, it could be coincidence, but sometimes the computer seems to be quite good at countering what you are trying to do. The gremlin goblin, whatever it is, that drags the body away isn't laughing, which is one of the iconic things on the Commodore 64 version, when you just dismembered someone and the gremlin goblin thing kicks the fallen warrior's head along the ground and then grabs the body and starts or whatever it is it's doing. You can play this game 2-player, and unless you have some sort of arrangement about trying to make it exciting, as you can see, those rolls will knock your Barbarian down and then you're open for attacks. When you're playing 2 players, it's very easy to come into a roll, 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 roll. 20 minutes later we are still rolling into each other. So you have to have some sort of let's make this a bit more of a fight. The attacks are the same on both versions. As I said, I would argue that while the animations are slightly more fluid on the Amiga version, I would overall say that the graphic quality definitely goes to the Commodore 64. And after this defeat, I will do a 1-minute comparison between the 2 versions so you can see them side by side. To admit, I actually quite enjoy the rough look of the Commodore 64 version. I think it adds to the game. So, both are very playable versions, but if you play them by yourself, they are not very rewarding when you beat them. So, nothing much else to say about this game, I say. They made a sequel which is not worth covering because the presentation was great and the game was rubbish. So, I may get around to it sometime, but if I don't cry your eyes out. It's not worth missing, but it's not worth covering, I meant. Anyway, as for now, I will say thanks for watching, take care, and see you again. Bye bye.